Fox 61 News at 6 starts now.
Right now at 6, the Naugatuck father accused of killing his 11-month-old baby girl faces a judge after a 2-week-long manhunt.
Record is replete with evidence and convictions of extreme violence. He poses an extreme risk to public safety.
We're there for Christopher Francisquini's first court appearance.
An ambulance giant American Medical Response is under fire after sexual harassment allegations.
It has been the hardest thing I've ever experienced and continue to experience.
How the company is responding tonight.
Plus, a multi-car crash shuts down a major highway for hours.
This is unbelievable. I never saw something like that with all these cars involved and stuff. So I'm just shocked.
Police saying a Connecticut transit bus was part of the pileup. The investigation into the chain of events continues.
And local leaders respond to former President Donald Trump's call to terminate parts of the Constitution.
It is deeply dangerous, nonsensical, nihilistic, dangerous in the extreme.
The Fox 61 News at 6 starts right now.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us here on the News at 6. I'm Ben Goldman.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. Well, new tonight, the Naugatuck man accused of killing his baby faces a judge today.
Christopher Francisquini was arrested Friday after a 2-week-long manhunt. Fox 61's Matt Karen joining us live outside the courthouse with what happened today. Matt?
Yeah, hi guys. Francisquini stood in court today with a mask covering his face. He refused to say anything. Meanwhile, 3 plainclothes Naugatuck police officers sat in the gallery behind him. They were all wearing pink ribbons in honor of his daughter, Camilla.
This is truly a horrific crime of unfathomable nature.
And that's coming from the judge.
This involves the death and horrific mutilation of a child.
31-year-old Christopher Francisquini arraigned in Waterbury Superior Court Monday, just feet away from the bus stop where he was captured Friday following a 2-week manhunt.
He is an extreme risk for flight. There is an extreme risk to public safety.
You understand all that, sir? No response.
Francisquini is accused of brutally strangling and stabbing his 11-month-old daughter, Camilla, whose memory was honored at a vigil Saturday, Camilla's birthday.
Every day you see your daughter, every day, and then one day it just stops. I don't know how I'm going to do it.
Francisquini's newly obtained arrest warrant has little information on why he allegedly killed his daughter, but it paints a clearer picture of his efforts to evade capture. Looking for assistance to continue his fight, he links up with strangers, tries to contact former friends. At one point, he even attempts to sell his father's car. And when he ran out of gas on the highway, he linked up with a stranger and used their cell phone to create fake social media accounts. Back inside the courtroom, we learn more about Francisquini's lengthy and violent criminal past.
Record is replete with evidence and convictions of extreme violence,
ranging from burglary and larceny to assault, even picking up a brand new charge.
He even refused to be fingerprinted.
The judge ordered Francisquini held on a $5 million bond for the murder case and a total of $6.4 million for all his pending cases.
I believe a bond of a substantial nature is warranted to protect the public.
Now, even if Francisquini does manage to post all of his bond amounts, he will not be let back out on the streets. His parole officer has remanded him to custody. Now, he's going to be back in court tomorrow in Bridgeport, but it's for a totally unrelated case. The next time he's scheduled to appear in connection to this murder charge will be on December 21st. We're live outside Waterbury Superior Court. Matt Karen, Fox 61 News.
All right. Thank you, Matt. Well, tonight, a former medical tech shares her emotional story. She says she was sexually assaulted and her superiors didn't do anything to protect her.
She recently filed a lawsuit. Fox 61's New Haven County Bureau reporter Julia LeBlanc shares her story, plus how AMR is now responding to those allegations.
It has been the hardest thing I've ever experienced and continue to experience.
Anna Brogy is sharing her sexual assault story, not for her, but for those who come after her.
Although my name might be on the legal documents, I really want to represent that I am one female this has happened to.
In November of 2020, Brogy was allegedly sexually assaulted by a former co-worker at AMR New Haven. This year, she filed a lawsuit saying her bosses did not act on her first couple of complaints, did not provide any trauma support, and welcomed her alleged assailant back to work after a short leave.
I went to 2 separate managers on 2 separate occasions and reported being sexually assaulted to them, and the response I felt was completely inadequate.
Her lawsuit describes a boys' club at AMR New Haven, where nearly all in charge are men and where sexual harassment is tolerated.
Some of them were around my age. Other ones were older men that still, I could have been their daughter, but they were treating me as if I was, piece of meat.
In one case, the lawsuit says when Brogy went to a supervisor, visibly upset, he responded by saying, quote, "Calm down, this is not a big deal. You should not be getting so worked up." Now that person has since been demoted, and AMR says in the last year, quote, "New leadership has been named overseeing the New Haven operation and in management above that operation. But for Brogy, more needs to be done. She wants a jury trial."
I felt like I was in this position where I had to do something about it. It was my responsibility to speak up because I know this is going on, and I didn't want to leave all of my friends in that environment.
Now, the mayor of New Haven, Justin Elliker, is responding to Brogy's allegations, saying they are, quote, "very disturbing." He says everyone has a right to a safe, professional working environment, and he has spoken directly to the representatives here at AMR New Haven. We're in New Haven. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61 News.
Thank you, Julia. Well, a driver is dead tonight after a major crash on I-84. The crash involved a Connecticut transit bus. It happened in West Hartford early this morning in the area of exit 44 westbound. Police say 2 tractor trailers, a postal truck, and 2 cars were also involved in that crash. The road was shut down for several hours. Drivers tell us they've never seen such a big pileup.
This is unbelievable. I never saw something like that with all these cars involved and stuff. So I'm just shocked, especially Connecticut transit bus.
Several other people were also taken to the hospital with minor injuries.
A dramatic afternoon for firefighters in Hartford. Crews had to rescue several family members from a burning home. Fox 61's Samaya Hernandez was there as firefighters put out the final hot spots this afternoon. She joins us live with the very latest. Samaya.
Good evening, Ben. Yeah, this happened over on Vine Street. Now, investigators are working to determine just what happened. We just left the scene over there. Police did as well.
I knew them all my life, and it's a good family, they're real good people.
Hartford firefighters rushing into action Monday afternoon to save 3 people from a burning home.
It's crazy for me to see that because, the moms passed, years ago, so it's like the father and the 2 sons, but, it's crazy.
Before they could attack the flames, firefighters used ladders to save people trapped on the top floor. One person taken to the hospital for smoke inhalation.
2 individuals from the 3rd floor requiring rescue. They threw 35-foot ladders, got those individuals out.
All of this happening around lunchtime on Vine Street. Fire Chief Rodney Barco tells Fox 61 firefighters faced several challenges.
Upon arrival, we had heavy fire from the 2nd and 3rd floor rear porches.
The initial focus making sure everyone was out safely, then knocking down flames on the middle and top floors.
The complexity of the apartment, we had to open the roof in order to ventilate and search for hidden fire in the clock loft.
Neighbors expressing concern for the family who lost their home and belongings.
I know they're going through a difficult situation right now.
And in all, 5 people are displaced. The American Red Cross is assisting them at this time. We're live in Hartford. Samaya Hernandez, Fox 61 News.
All right. Thank you, Samaya. Turning now to the weather, a chilly start to the week, but could we see some warmer temperatures in the coming days?
Meteorologist Ryan Breton joining us now. What's the answer to that, Ryan?
Yeah, hey, Ben and Sarah. Warming up so much that our next system will be entirely rain tomorrow into Wednesday. We have a front to the north that's going to come south, but also a lot of moisture from the south that will come up north. And the wind is going to be coming in out of the south, so that ensures that this next system will be entirely rain here in southern New England. Right now, we just have some clouds clouds thickening up across the region. It's still chilly, especially for this hour of the day. It's 35 right now in Willimantic, 37 in Meriden, and 39 right now in New Haven. Through the rest of the night, we won't drop a whole lot more. Temperatures staying in the 30s through the night as the clouds thicken up. But out the door first thing in the morning, it should be dry, just a mostly cloudy sky. The ride home tomorrow, though, will be a little bit different, especially earlier in the afternoon. Western Connecticut will be getting into some rain, the rain overspreading all of the state toward about this time tomorrow evening. So this is the map at 9 in the morning. May actually be some breaks of sun still in eastern Connecticut, and it'll be fairly mild. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s at that point, but then showers developing toward the middle of the day, especially in the western half of the state, with rain overspreading all of the state by about this time tomorrow night. Overnight tomorrow night, we'll keep some rain around, and it stays warm tomorrow night too, and that warmth sticks around into Wednesday. We'll talk about how long it lasts beyond then coming up in just a bit.
Thank you, Ryan. Well, the city of New Haven announces negotiations towards a settlement with the attorneys for Randy Cox. Mayor Justin Elicker says in his statement all parties have agreed to pursue early settlement negotiations in the civil lawsuit filed by his lawyers. All discussions will be facilitated by a judge. Cox was left paralyzed while in police custody back in June. Each of the 5 officers involved in the case was served a warrant last week. They're all facing reckless endangerment and cruelty charges.
Police are looking for answers as Southington now mourns an 18-year-old who died after losing control of his car and crashing into the woods. It happened right off of Main Street in Southington just after 5 a.m. on Sunday. First responders say that Joshua Ryan Chevalier was pronounced dead on the scene. They still don't know how Chevalier lost control of his car, and investigators are asking anyone who might have witnessed that crash to give them a call.
Well, happening tonight, Board of Education members in Farmington will listen to concerned locals. They're expected to discuss the removal of certain religious holidays from the school calendar. Last month, the board voted in favor of removing Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah from the holiday calendar, saying students who observe those holidays will be allowed to take an excused absence. A petition's now circulating, calling for the board to reverse its decision and reinstate the holidays, plus add Diwali. We'll have a live preview of the meeting coming up in a half hour.